Welcome back to the channel, Cowboys Nation. If you're a diehard fan like I am, you're going to want to stick around for this one because we have some breaking news coming straight out of Frisco, and it's the kind of activity that tells us the front office is not just twiddling their thumbs in the offseason. That's right, the Dallas Cowboys are working out 5 players today, and the headline names leading this group include veteran offensive tackle George Fant and defensive lineman Perrion Winfrey. These aren't just camp bodies, they're experienced NFL players with serious upside, and their presence at the Star today has fans buzzing about what could be coming next. We're going to break down who these players are, why the Cowboys are bringing them in now, and what it could mean for the current roster heading into training camp. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into what could be the first dominoes in a big summer for America's team. Let's start with George Fant, because his name carries the most weight among the 5 being evaluated. Fant has been in the league since 2016, going undrafted out of Western Kentucky before carving out a significant role for himself with the Seattle Seahawks. What's most intriguing about Fant is his versatility. He's played both left and right tackle in the NFL, and he started games at both spots. That kind of flexibility is gold in today's league, especially for a Cowboys offensive line that has some question marks going into this season. We know Tyron Smith is no longer on the roster, having signed with the Jets this offseason, and while first-round rookie Tyler Guyton is expected to be the future at left tackle, he's still a rookie. Depth is a concern, and the Cowboys need insurance policies. That's where someone like Fant becomes valuable. He's started 60 games in the NFL. He knows how to anchor an edge, handle speed rushers, and communicate effectively with guards next to him. If he impresses in the workout, don't be surprised if Dallas offers him a deal. But Fant isn't the only name drawing attention today. Perrion Winfrey, the former Cleveland Browns defensive tackle, is also being worked out. And his case is an interesting one. Winfrey was a 4th-round pick in 2022 out of Oklahoma, and during his time with the Sooners, he was a disruptive force in the middle. He's known for his explosiveness off the line and his ability to create interior pressure, something the Cowboys have lacked consistently outside of OSA Odigizua. However, Winfrey's time in Cleveland was marred by off-the-field issues, including a suspension and eventual release from the Browns. He's still just 24 years old, and if there's any organization that believes in second chances and reclamation projects, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen this front office take chances on guys like Randy Gregory, Aldon Smith, and others who had talent but needed structure and support. If Winfrey can show he's matured and focused, he could be a low-risk, high-reward signing for Dan Quinn's defense. Now let's talk about why these workouts are happening now. We're in the heart of June, a time when most teams are finalizing their 90-man rosters before training camp. The Cowboys have a few open spots after some minor roster churn following rookie minicamp and OTAs. More importantly, this is the time when front offices evaluate what they've seen from their younger players during spring workouts and determine whether they have enough veteran depth at key positions. In Dallas' case, the offensive line and defensive interior are both areas where added depth wouldn't just be helpful, it's necessary. Injuries always happen in the trenches, and the difference between a playoff team and a team watching from home in January often comes down to whether you have enough experienced bodies ready to step in when starters go down. And while Fant and Winfrey are the headliners, we shouldn't overlook the other 3 players in for workouts today. These are the types of under-the-radar names that can end up being camp surprises. Every year, a few of these lesser-known veterans or fringe prospects flash in camp and earn a spot on the 53-man roster or practice squad. The Cowboys scouting department prides itself on uncovering hidden gems, and these workouts are part of that process. While we don't have the full details on the other 3 names just yet, rest assured that if they're getting looks, it means someone in the organization sees potential. Sometimes it's about filling a special teams role, sometimes it's about having a reliable body in the rotation, and other times, it's about simply lighting a fire under the players already on the roster. The George Fant workout in particular has some interesting timing to it. Just days ago, the Cowboys wrapped up their OTA period, and one of the takeaways was that the offensive line still has some unsettled questions. Tyler Smith looks ready to take over as a leader at left guard, and Terrence Steele is back at right tackle. But behind them, the depth isn't rock solid. Chuma Edoga, Matt Waletzko, and Josh Ball have all had flashes, but none have proven themselves as consistent swing tackles. Signing Fant would give the Cowboys a proven veteran who could step in and play immediately if needed. It would also give Tyler Guyton a little breathing room as he adjusts to the NFL. Remember, Guyton played just one full year at tackle in college. Throwing him into the fire without a reliable backup plan is a dangerous game. Fant's presence would ease that transition and give the Cowboys peace of mind. As for Winfrey, the defensive line competition is going to be fierce this year. The Cowboys are set at the edge with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Sam Williams, but the interior rotation is still taking shape. Motzie Smith, last year's first-round pick, is coming off a rookie season that had its ups and downs. Jonathan Hankins is no longer in the picture, and while Osei Odigizua is a stalwart in the rotation, there's room for another explosive 3-tech who can penetrate and collapse the pocket. That's what Winfrey was drafted to do. If he can show that he's mentally and emotionally locked in, the talent is undeniable. Adding him to the mix could give Dan Quinn another weapon to rotate in during obvious passing downs. Now, let's zoom out a little bit and look at this from a bigger picture perspective. The Cowboys have been relatively quiet in free agency this offseason. They've made a few value signings, focused heavily on the draft, and doubled down on player development. But that doesn't mean they're done tweaking the roster. In fact, these workouts signal that the front office is still looking for ways to upgrade and solidify depth ahead of camp. That's important, especially considering the gauntlet of a schedule the Cowboys are going to face in 2025. They're going up against some of the league's best defensive lines, and they'll need a strong offensive front to protect Dak Prescott and create lanes for the new-look run game featuring Rico Dowdle and rookie Tre'Veon Henderson. Another aspect worth noting is the culture fit. The Cowboys have made it a point in recent years to bring in players who fit their locker room culture, guys who are hard workers, team first, and resilient. George Fant has been praised by former teammates and coaches for his professionalism and leadership. That's the kind of veteran presence you want in a young O-line room. For Winfrey, the question is whether he's ready to commit to that culture. If he is, and the Cowboys believe in his character development, he could be the next in a line of talented defenders who turn their careers around in Dallas. Also, let's not forget the impact of these workouts on the current roster. Bringing in veterans to compete sends a clear message to younger players who may be on the bubble. It's a reminder that nothing is guaranteed and that the staff is always looking to get better. Competition breeds excellence, and the Cowboys are creating a competitive environment heading into camp. That's exactly what you want to see from a team with championship aspirations. The NFC is wide open, and Dallas has the talent to make a deep run if they can stay healthy and get solid contributions from their role players. Looking ahead, if these workouts go well and the Cowboys do decide to sign one or more of these players, it would set the tone for the rest of the offseason. It would show that the team is being proactive rather than reactive, addressing potential holes before they become glaring problems. It would also be a reminder that the front office led by Will McClay, Stephen Jones, and Jerry Jones is always working behind the scenes to improve the roster. Fans often get frustrated during the quiet periods of the offseason, but moves like this show that things are always happening, even if they're not headline-grabbing trades or blockbuster signings. Let's talk just a little more about Fant's potential role. If he signs, expect him to get reps at both tackle spots during camp. That would allow the coaches to evaluate how well he moves on each side and where he might be most useful in case of an injury. It's also worth considering that the Cowboys could use him in heavy packages as an extra blocker, something we've seen them do in the past with success. That kind of situational flexibility is something offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer values, and Fant's experience could make him an asset in both run and pass protection scenarios. For Winfrey, his path to the roster would likely involve showing out in preseason action. He'll need to prove he can stay disciplined, stay focused, and make plays when given the opportunity. The talent is there, it's the consistency and maturity that will determine whether he sticks. But if he does, the Cowboys might have themselves a steal. Interior pressure is one of the most valuable commodities in today's NFL. Disrupting the quarterback from the middle forces hurried throws, collapsed pockets, and mistakes. Winfrey can do that if he's in the right mindset. And let's not overlook the business side of all this. Bringing in players on workouts costs nothing but time. It's a smart, low-risk way to evaluate talent and possibly uncover value. The Cowboys have a long track record of finding contributors through these kinds of moves. Guys like Malik Hooker and Jaron Kearse came in on low-risk deals and became staples of the defense. There's no reason to believe they can't do it again with the right players and the right approach. All in all, today's news out of Dallas is more significant than it might appear on the surface. These workouts represent more than just a chance to get a look at a few free agents. They're a statement that the Cowboys are actively building the most complete, competitive roster they can. Whether George Fant and Perrion Winfrey end up signing or not, the message is clear: the Cowboys are not standing still. They're preparing for the grind of the season, evaluating every option, and making sure they have the depth, experience, and firepower to contend in 2025. That's going to do it for today's update, Cowboys Nation. As always, we'll keep you posted with any developments, whether these workouts lead to signings or open the door to more roster